All right, everybody, welcome back to a little video that I wanted to do with other Steemians. Today, I've got somebody I met at Steamfest 2, actually. I don't know if I met husband, though, at Steamfest 2. Were you
I
there?
was
I'm not
there.
sure.
I was there actually, but I
Hang
think
on a
we
minute, I
just
can't hear
talked
you.
for a few
Oh, there you
minutes.
go. I can hear you now. Say again.
Yeah, so I think we met, but I think we just talked for a few minutes.
I
I don't
saw
think
a million people just like go past.
exactly.
All right, then. So let's start this off. I've got like 5 or 6 questions that I want to ask today. First of all, most people can find you at steemit.com at Roxanne and steemit.com at Roger. And I've just
Yes,
followed you, by the way, because we weren't following.
exactly.
So I've sorted all that situation out. Um, Give us a little bit of an introduction of who you are on the Steem blockchain if people don't know you before we get into the product stuff. Roxanne, go
Oh,
first.
so it's been exactly 1 year that I'm blogging full time on Steam. And what I've done, I started to build the French community and I set up a website called Comprendre Steam, which means understanding Steam. So for 9 months, I've produced one video, like education video, a day explaining Steam. And we have done crazy stuff like translating the white paper, the blue paper, and
Wow.
also the smart media token, but still not released yet.
Right.
And that kind of stuff.
Right. Very cool. And yourself?
So for my part, I'm less active, clearly less active. I'm working with Roxanne for where we made some of the video. I was explaining her actually how it works on the technical level. So I'm a developer. I was in the Steamfest and there we worked on the Steemit roadmap project with
Right.
Martivis. So and no, since then I've been doing some small things, mostly understanding the technical point and advantages of using the Steem blockchain, how to build applications on top of it.
Okay.
That's been the main focus for me.
Okay. Very cool. And you did development before, right? You've done stuff before. Is that your job
Yeah,
or?
exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a developer by day. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. A developer by day, Batman by night. I like that. So give us a little bit of an experience of Steam from your perspective over the last year. Like, what has it done for your life? How have you integrated it socially into your life?
Oh, you mean I don't have any social
No, I never
life?
said that. I never said
No,
that.
no,
I'm just,
but I tell you.
I'm intrigued by that question, though, you know?
No, but okay, Steam was very intense for me for many, many months. Let's say 9 months. I gave like all my time. I mean, 16 hours a day, probably on Steam. It was probably too much, but uh, okay, it was probably too much. And because I really wanted to build this, I tried to build this French community. There were like really not so many people blogging in French, and now you can really see many people blogging every day in French. We are still not very big, but still. And so, you know, when you want to create a project, it's when you are an entrepreneur, you have to, yeah, just be full time on it. So, yeah, Steam changed a lot of things for me. I lose my social life on in real life, but I got a big social life online. But I mean, I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about even the technology, the cryptocurrency, the blockchain, but many other things, even social like relationships,
How
even
people interoperate. Hmm.
yeah. So what have I learned?
Yeah, so many
No,
things.
that was good. That was good. That was good. And about yourself?
So actually, the thing is, we've been living Steam for 1 year now. It started very like 1 year ago, mid-May last year, and she was blogging for quite some time, and so I stumbled upon the Steam blockchain, and I was very curious about it. So I made an introduction post, so for myself, and I had some direct feedback, which was something she didn't get that much on her blog, usual blog on the internet.
Mm.
I just told her like, "Hey, come to see this. This is very interesting. We have a community here. People are really welcoming. You can learn. I think we can learn a lot of things. We didn't thought it would be that big. Actually, it was really a nice surprise. Steamfest really helped us to meet a lot
Mm.
of people, to be even more engaged, and that was yeah a crazy year for us last year. And
Yeah. I would agree, actually. I think Steam is this kind of liberation for bloggers who were bloggers before, who put stuff on a WordPress blog and nobody commented on it, or there was no financial, incentive. And I think it's changed a lot of people's lives, literally from the financial, but the time, the social connections, and also the comments. Let's talk about the comments. The comments are
Commenting is the
super
biggest.
nice.
Yeah, and
People-
the people are very, very, very eager to interact, and that's the main point and the main focus. I think it's important on the Steam, and we don't talk that much about it. I think not enough, because the interesting point when you're blogging is to get feedback, and most of the time you don't get any feedback. You cannot improve yourself, your skills, and you do things. And when you get feedback, you can really change bit by bit, improve on many areas, and the Steam blockchain having a multiple aspects, like I would say, like the cryptocurrency aspect is something some people don't know at all about. So to learn about it as they go, I would say, bit by bit, and it became more and more natural. So it's very, very interesting to be able to learn so many things in so much smaller amount.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it has been for me. Like, I've been in computers all my life, but like blockchain was a real revelation to me. It was like, what? It's an open database? Okay, fair enough. We'll have a look at that. And then finding out about open ledgers, and then DPoS, and then Dan, and all these different people that exist in this ecosystem. All right. So another question before we get into the product you've made on the Steam blockchain is, what things do you think are missing in Steam that you would like to see or change? Like, you've been in it a year now. Just a couple of things that you're like, oh, I wish it didn't do this, or I wish it could do this.
I really wish that quality comment and content would be rewarded fairly. When I joined it, like the Steam blockchain, I really thought, yeah, it's a new world. We want to reward the quality content, but that's not true at all. It's exactly the same as what we see in the world. Rich have the power, and we don't say anything to rich people because they are the investor. So we don't want them to run away, and we don't value the quality content. We really don't.
Who defines that? Who defines quality in a decentralized blockchain?
Yeah, it's very subjective, and it's difficult. It's a difficult matter to approach. Actually, but the thing is, and I think that's what I would say is mainly. I think is the biggest problem at the moment is the spread, the
distribution of wealth,
which probably is creating unfairness just by itself. Not even. I think most people are not ill-intentioned. They really try to do what's best, but there are some natural human factor that come into play, and having such a discrepancy between people having a lot of tokens and some people having very few makes that if you are in the right circles, you can really benefit, and if you're not, you probably have to work harder and very hard, and you might not get noticed at all. So it brings this feeling of unfairness at some point. I think we deal a lot with new people, like really coming on the Steam blockchain for the first time, and it's kind of difficult to keep them on the blockchain because they really feel this unfairness. I think the strongest one in the first weeks, and that's something we felt a lot during last year.
I think that's always going to be a problem with decentralized networks, is that people try and associate the real world life of their needs today, what I need today, food, housing, eating, things like that, and trying to think that they're going to jump into something and it's going to give them money, if you like. I still think Steam is like a basic income experiment in some ways, like the more you put in, the more you get out. But also that distribution of wealth is a huge topic that we just don't talk about. But then we don't talk about greed in general, do we, in the world?
That was the human nature aspect I was like referring to. I think some people are greedy, and
some people are greedy. I agree. So let's get into this. What motivated you to make this app? Tell us about the app. Finally, let's get on to the app.
That's me. Since probably not day one, but few weeks or few months later, I was asking Olivier, please make me an app that can send those comments without the 20-second waiting. And with the how you say that, and with all the comment coming in more and more every day,
Right.
at some point I didn't wanted to reply because it was too much, not about replying,
Too much
about
of a
the
time.
waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you know how many hours I spend per day to comment? It's just too
Crazy.
much, and I'm sure you know because you publish a lot too.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I really think it's important to give people who comment on your post and who interact with you, to give them a response and to be able to engage with them. I think that's really one of the main points of the blockchain and the way it's done. We talked about it earlier. It's really this engagement and interaction people can have, and the feedback, everything related to this.
Right.
But at some point, it's very overwhelming when you get like hundreds of comments to reply to in the same day, and it takes a lot of time. And when you have to wait, it's actually take even more time, and it creates frustration because you're just like, that you have a 10 or 20 or 30 more comments to reply to, and you have to wait for this one because you still have like 10 seconds to wait.
Right.
Yeah, at the end, I was taking only one day to comment, like all the day long I was commenting. So generally it was like I was waiting maybe 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 days to comment like all my posts.
But
this is insane.
This is bad, right? Because if you wait that long, people are not engaged anymore, and that's what you want to avoid with this app. The idea really is to be able to go with the flow, to open the app like maybe once, twice a day, see what's new, reply. It's just queued, so all the responses that you create are queued,
right?
And they will be like sent every 20 seconds. They will be sent to the blockchain, so you don't have to wait. You just have to keep the browser, the tab open actually with the application, and it will decrease. You have a small number of pending actions to be made in the top right corner, and it just says, okay, it's 10 left, then 5 left, then okay, it's done. All cool. No,
it's very cool actually. It's a very simple idea, but it's very cool because it's all in the browser. It doesn't affect anything on the blockchain. It's just a timer to wait, but it allows you to be productive. You can be productive. You can just like post. So I was going to bring it on screen. I was going to like share the screen, but we don't need to. I think the momentum of the conversation is better than just showing that. So normally what people would see on their Steem blog, there's a replies and there's just like a torrent of replies. So what Fast Reply does is it puts all your replies on the left-hand side and it puts a comment box and you can vote and add emojis and stuff like that. Seems simple, but it's like productivity 101. It's like amazing. That's why I was like, I have to interview Roxanne for this, because how did she come up with the idea? Like, she must have been like, I'm so frustrated typing, I need something for this. Can you talk about any planned features that you've got coming up, or things that you've looked at after just doing these first 2 versions and you're like, oh, I want to do something else with it?
Yeah, we have a few. We have a list like in the version, like we did 2 versions at the moment. Very basic stuff. The first one was really the prototype. Second one is really more mature. But we have another list. So the list from version 1 to version 2 has been almost done now. But what we want to add even more for the next release will probably be like navigation without mouse. So being able to just use the keyboard to go from one.
Curse keys.
Efficiency.
So again, the idea is to be in a distraction-less environment and to be able to be the more productive as possible. So that's really,
I love it.
The other idea is to keep the fun, because that's why we kept emojis. You can also drag and drop files now, so you can add images very easily. Just drag and drop them.
Didn't know that.
And it just uploads them automatically. So we made that with the guys from Busy to share with us the IPFS server actually. So if you drag and drop an image, it will upload it to the IPFS server.
Love that. Okay, that's good.
So that's one cool thing. And what we want to bring more is to the ability to import GIFs from Jiffy.
Animated GIFs.
Exactly. So that's one of the main thing we want to bring next, because we want also to keep it fun, right? Comments, it's an area where the post is more, the post you make is more usually like serious, but
Right.
commenting is a fun area. You can really interact, and we think that GIFs is a nice way to
I
bring
love
fun to
GIFs.
the common zone.
And
Right.
for more productivity, I'm waiting for this feature is template comment.
Yeah.
I'm not
mhm.
going to say hello, thank you for your comment for sure. But like for example, I'm commenting to many people, like I'm answering to many people who are new on Steam. So I always have to type the website. So now I will just have to click on the website, on the template,
Mhm.
and then it will be written.
I do
Uh,
that with a thing called Text Expander. Have you used Text
Yeah.
yeah,
Expander?
exactly.
Like
Yeah, for
that,
the
but with templates. I have to have it. I live by
Yeah.
it. You know, if I don't have it, it's terrible.
So it's
Yeah.
the same idea. You could really like click or just push a button to have some template like template response, or
That's
maybe
awesome.
just a link to some Discord server or website that you want to refer to without having to copy and paste it. And it takes a lot of time. It requires a mouse probably also. So this is all the things we want to avoid. One of the feature that is really interesting, I think, is to be able to get the context. So you can get to one comment, and at the moment you only see the comment. You don't see what bring the conversation to that comment.
I got you.
So what we want to do is to be able to see back in history from the first comment what people have said, and so you can
So it's like a
retrace.
thread. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So you can see the whole conversation, and because if you have a lot of things, it might be difficult to follow like hundreds of conversations at the same time. So that's really one of the features we want.
I've got like 100 like outstanding messages right now because I do a lot of Steam Hunt stuff. I have all these messages that come in from everything that I hunt, but also being a moderator, you get these messages as a moderator because people want to ask you a bunch of questions. So my final question today is, what other projects would you like to see on the Steem blockchain that don't exist already? Like, have you come up with a genius one and you're like, oh, I wish that existed? Or have you got one that you want to build? What would be your best one that you would build? That look was like, we can't say anything. We can't tell anybody. Everybody on the blockchain has got the same thing, you know? Everybody's like, I've got an app we're going to build. It's going to be amazing.
I don't think we have like the one true idea, the thing that will revolutionize the world, but we have some leads, some small ideas. We still have to test them, and like we did with Fast Reply, actually, what we did was we build a prototype from our experience and see where it goes.
Cool.
And you have seen how long it took. It's almost 1 year that I'm begging Olivier to have this fast reply.
The man's
and now
busy.
I was like,
the man's busy.
I want it now, and otherwise I would not comment anymore. I was so frustrated to comment. So he saw that it was too much. So he was like, okay, I'm going to do that. But yeah, one of the projects I would really love, and I see someone, I've worked in the social field and NGO field for 15 years now. And I really wanted to bring those organizations and they could get funded with the Steem.
Massive.
And now we have a project like that, but it's not exactly what I was expecting. But when it's, I was asking Olivier, please build this. We will just go in Brussels, in all the NGOs I've worked for and bring them in Steem. And now, there is one project a bit like that, but still not exactly what I was expecting.
I think we operate now in a realm of opportunity, right? It could be Steem, it could be EOS, it could be a bunch of different blockchains, right? I'm starting to realize that people are more mobilized in giving value now. And that's a really weird word, value, because everybody's got a different perception of what that means. But like in the last year, I mean, I've got a lot out of Steem mentally and anxiety reducing and stress reducing and just having a blog that I feel invested in with a bunch of other people. If people want to find you, where do they find you on the web? And we should mention the name of the actual app.
Yeah. So the app's called Fast Reply, and so it's fast-reply. The website is on search.sh at the moment. So it's the thing is it's hosted on I would say static file content. So the thing is we don't have any server for this app.
Perfect.
It's just a
reloader. JavaScript
Exactly.
kind of
And
thing. Mhm.
all the logic is everything is happening on your browser, in the browser actually.
Yeah.
So you don't need any server or anything. You just need an internet connection, and that's it. So we will probably get a domain for the app at some point. It's very new still. So yeah, it will probably be something like fastreply.app or something like that. But
Nice.
at the moment, it's fastreply.search.sh.
Okay, that's perfect. And then people can find you at steamy.com/Roxane, RAXANE, and
Yes.
also you at O Roger. Every time I
Yes.
see O Roger, I think of beer. I don't know why. Maybe because we have like beer called Old Roger here in the UK. Listen,
We are on
thank
Discord also.
listen, thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it. We've done this in about what, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, maybe a little longer than that. I'm not really sure. But thank you for the time. If people haven't tried it yet, it is fast-reply.surge.sh, and it's really easy to use, and everybody should use it today. I'm going to finish the recording now.
Yeah.
Just a
All
sec.
right. Thank you very much.